Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with John Wilson. He is the former head of the Trades Hall in Canberra in the early 90s and also the State Secretary for the CFMEU and the ACT at the same time. He was also the Senior Industrial Officer for the Commonwealth Public Service in the ACT and also for the Federated Clerks Union in Queensland. So how are you, John?
G'day, good to see you so fit and well.
Thanks mate, I'm certainly feeling pretty fit today. So you were in Canberra mate last weekend for a few days and you spoke publicly down there. We're back in Brisbane now on your boat and having a good old chinwag, and I was just wondering what was your reading on what happened in Canberra and as a whole and the freedom movement in general?
Well, I mean, it's sort of where do you start, but I'll just give you, I guess, some of my thoughts about where things are up to and my experience down there. The biggest crowd in Canberra, Parliament House right there, and also in London Circuit, in Civic in Canberra when I was president of the Trades Hall Council, that I've ever chaired and spoken publicly at was about 50,000, okay? And the numbers down there that I saw, again, hard to take it all in, but that was at least 10 to 15 times more than that. And it could have been, again, more again. I'm only guessing now. But it was certainly the biggest public event, public crowd or gathering of Australian people in Canberra assembled that I've ever seen. So well done Australia. I didn't think you were going to do it. I said publicly that I thought this was going to slip through our fingers, but it's not. And I was extremely pleased to see the numbers.
Yeah, it was great, especially when we marched across the Commonwealth Bridge there, and I looked back. I was sort of up with the truck and where the diggers were, and I looked back and it was a sea of people.
Extraordinary footage, just extraordinary footage. The many people there and others who had drones and other vantage points done great work in getting footage out to how big, and it was just lovely to see, very heartwarming. And look, we've experienced a couple of years now where every state premier in Australia has been ripping this country apart, like real estate, denationalising us, turning us into just another piece of real estate that they can sell off to their foreign mates. And when you come together like 500,000, 750,000, if not well over 1 million. Again, I'm only guessing at this stage, but I can tell you now it was a great national event. Great national event. Good on you, Australia.
Yeah, 100% there, John. So moving on, what on the day or as your time down there as a whole, was there anything that concerned you about what happened in Canberra?
Oh yes, now that I've had some time to reflect and talk to many other activists who were down there and look at again other great footage, I'm flabbergasted. I'm about the use of frequency-based weaponry. Not only at the gathering at the Parliament House up at the hill, Capitol Hill, but also down at our campgrounds down at Epic Showgrounds. Now, let me just give you a little bit of context. Look, I've been involved in some very violent clashes with the Australian Federal Police. I make no apologies, and it's just a matter of fact. When I was the president of the Labor Council, but more so the secretary of the CFMEU, the union movement had very violent clashes with the police. Now, never in all of my known memory has there ever been snipers on roofs with high-powered, high-caliber weaponry pointed at us. Never was stun grenades, flash grenades, or rubber bullets ever used against us. Never was, heaven forbid, frequency weapons used against us, right? Ever. Now for the Australian Federal Police to turn that weaponry on and to take those steps to put us in their crosshairs through long-range snipers, right? And you're talking children, babies, dogs. Myself, I ended up getting very sick from it. It took me several days to get over it when I got back. But my dog also was very ill with vomiting, and he hadn't been able to eat for several days. So to do this, to use this weaponry against innocent people like they have, it just beggars belief. Beggars belief. It's never been used before, and I've been part of some very hostile confrontations against the ACT police. Again, it was part of my job. I'm not crowing about it. I'm not making apologies about it. I'm just saying these were tough days in the construction industry in Canberra, and Parliament House was a very tough construction job. There were thousands of construction workers on that one job alone. So never was this equipment used against in very violent situations against us, but yet they're using it against totally innocent, harmless citizens. I mean, I'm flabbergasted with that.
Absolutely, so am I.
Look, also the other area of concern that also has me alarmed is the two camps that are now clear as day that have developed. You've got this Clive Palmer camp, and this Clive Palmer camp has embraced others. And the Brisbane organiser, Tricky, and others, activists, and they've been embraced, and they set up a big sound system at the bottom of the hill, and at the top of the hill there was a collection of other speakers and other activists who were literally drowned out. Now, I'm flabbergasted by this stuff. I'm flabbergasted. This is politics. This is very disunifying, and I'm flabbergasted that this stunt was pulled. Now, I've gone public. I have gone public. I've made my position clear. So, but let me spell it out again. I owe no one nothing. I am not ever going to run for any public office of any kind. I will never try to make any commercial value out of any public profile that I may or may not develop. I'll never try and sell you merchandise. I'll never ask you for any donations. I belong to the Leave Me the Fuck Alone political party. That's the party I belong to. But having looked at all of the players, all of the jockeying, all of the position, I've come to the conclusion, I've made it public knowledge now, that Ricardo Bosi has to be Australia's lightning rod. Okay, it's got to be him. He knows how to keep calm under fire, but more importantly, he knows how to return fire. He knows how to give as good as he gets. And right now, the national corporate media in Western Australia are giving it to him, absolutely slagging him. Now, Ricardo Bosi, in my humble opinion, has to be our lightning rod, and we've got to get behind him and support his efforts. Now, from there, all of the others that I've seen, right, are just jockeying for positions, right? I don't want to speak ill of people. Again, I don't want to dilute my brand, their brand, or anyone else's brand. But I mean it when I say I belong to the Leave Me the Fuck Alone party. I'm not a member of A1 and never will be. But Ricardo Bosi, he's it. That's in my humble opinion. Thank you.
No worries, John. All right, mate. Well, thanks for speaking. Really appreciate your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
No, but my intentions are to continue to engage in some public speaking. I've done it all in my life previously. I don't do this because I like it, but I want to engage with the Australian public on some of these topics and some of these issues, and be part of that discussion. Respectfully so. I mean, I don't want to. I want to give other people a go, and I hope they give me a go. But people know who I am. I'm an old lefty, mate. I'm an old trade union commo lefty, and fucking proud of it, mate. I'm not one of these pink pussy hat wearing transvestites that, God knows out of which arsehole they fell out of, that infect the left of today. I'm one of the old proletariat, mate. We mean what we say, and we say what we fucking mean. And our handshake is as good as any handshake in this world.
I remember you talking in Brisbane, and you said that the unions in this country and in this state are not a passive player.
No, they're part. Look. We're up against a global syndicate, criminal syndicate, mate, that has infiltrated and infected, all corners of the world. The trade unions at a international level, Sharon Burrows, the International Confederation of Trade Unions, Sally McManus, the ACTU, and all of their affiliate unions. They are all part of the Klaus Schwab World Economic Forum, Davos, Great Reset. They're all being consulted. They've been part of the planning on all this. They have not said one word, right, all throughout all of this, complete madness when it comes to this bloody COVID stuff. They've walked away from protecting their members and their jobs. They've sold them out. It's just uncovered the lot of them. They're never going to survive this. Never. If the Australian people ever trust trade unions after this, then they're mad. They're mad.
Absolutely. And we just might get one more bit of clarification about why do you think Bosi is got to be the lightning rod, and is there anything in particular that he does that convinces you of that? So just so people know you're not, pushing him just for the hell of it. Do you know what I mean?
Look. Listen to listen to his planning, listen to his explanation, his reasoning. He's trained militarily, RMC, Royal Military College down at Duntroon, right? These guys have to go through to reach the lieutenant colonel, ranks. They have to go through a hell of a lot of planning. These guys know how to go about setting up and building an army, right, to achieve an outcome, and to working with citizens and so on. I mean, I think that Ricardo has some blind spots because he's heavily military, but he's built an army of civilians around him. Like, he's now got no blind spots. Have a look at the people he's gathered around him. These people are salt of the earth, sluggers, mate. They know, and day in, day, you watch the army he's built, mate. These people are from Queanbeyan, mate. Queanbeyan locals, and up here in the sunny coast, and you name it, mate. These are, they're not going to be pushed around and hoodwinked. So there's an army. A1 has an army, and Ricardo has a plan.
And he's the only one talking about certain things, isn't he? Whereas the other camp are just completely ignoring it.
Look, Ricardo Bosi, full stop, talks about child trafficking, talks about, pedophilia, suppression orders and those things, right? He's got to be careful how he says all this, or they'll jail him. Now, but he's the only one. The silence is deafening from all the others, mate. They're all issue-based. They all want to ride this discontent for political gain or personal bloody gain, but let it be. I'm convinced the Australian people, when they find out, when disclosures start being made, and they're coming, about what the body politic, what these police, what these judges and bankers and so on have really been up to, I can tell you now, mate, they will not be able to walk the streets. And that ain't me saying nothing. I live on me boat. That's the rest of the country. They're going to react to this. You watch them. And Ricardo Bosi is the only one across these issues and the only one talking about it.
Absolutely. All right, John. Well, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, Ruben.
I'll talk to you soon, mate.